One of the players I was worried the Texans would draft is on his way to proving me wrong. And how does he stack up versus the player the Texans actually drafted at that position? Let's get into it. Brought to you by my friends at Platinum AC and Heating. My guy Dwayne's the best in the business. I need a new air conditioner. I called Platinum AC and Heating. It was done like that. Best in the business, from repairs, replacements to just simple preventative maintenance. Platinum AC and Heating is the best in the business. Andy Reid announced that first round pick Josh Simmons should be good to go at training camp after his significant knee injury last year. Now, if the name doesn't seem too familiar to you, let me jog your memory. Josh Simmons was thought to be the best tackle prospect in the 2025 NFL draft if he hadn't had a major knee injury in his season at Ohio State last year. He had a torn patellar tendon in his season, and he worked back from the injury to the point where the Chiefs were content enough with his status in recovery to draft him in the first round. The Houston Texans decided not to draft Simmons, and they ultimately drafted Aireontae Ersery at offensive tackle in the second round. Now, why is Simmons being ready for training camp a big thing? Because if you remember how much I was vehemently against Simmons being the Texans draft pick, you're probably thinking to yourself, Cody, if he's going to be ready for training camp, weren't you a little worried about nothing? Yes and no. Okay. Yes and no. I was worried about something, and just because half of it has come to prove me wrong, then it doesn't mean the full aspect of what I was worried about proves me wrong. Plus, how does Ursery even stack up against this guy? And we'll talk about that as well. But Simmons has a torn patellar tendon that he's working back from in his knee. That's a significant knee injury. Most football players come back with a lower level of athletic performance, and there really haven't been very many high-level NFL players that have been able to bounce back from that knee injury. And really, at the tackle position, only Jack Conklin from the Cleveland Browns has been able to bounce back from that knee injury. And then ultimately, he actually tore up his other knee a little bit later, maybe because of that issue. So Simmons being ready for a training camp, that's good. He was eventually going to get on the field this year. How good is he compared to his previous level? And that was something the Texans seemed to emphasize in the entirety of their draft class. They wanted guys who played a lot of football and were healthy in their time. Jaden Higgins didn't miss any games at Iowa State. Jalen Noel only missed one game. Aireontae Ersery had a game started streak. Jalen Smith had a game started streak. Jalen Reed had a game started streak. I think Smith got dinged up a little bit at his time at USC, but he'd been pretty healthy. Woody Marks, a healthy player. They prioritized health in this draft class, and Simmons was not a healthy player last year. It wasn't a healthy player at draft time, and is not yet proven to be a healthy player in 2025. I don't know why I had to look down at the date, but I did. It's 2025. He's not yet proven to be healthy. Yes, he can get on the field. You know what Aireontae Ersery's already done? Been on the field, practicing, done a couple of things in OTAs and minicamp as well for the Houston Texans. So the comparison will always be there between Simmons and Ursery because they're the same position. The Texans had a crack at Simmons, and they ultimately went with Ursery. Now, it's not a one-for-one comparison because, of course, trading back got them Jaden Higgins. They also got the ability to move around to go and get Ursery. So it's not one-for-one, but it is comparable. It is notable, and Ursery will be compared to all the tackles that went after the Texans' first opportunity to pick, which was that first-round pick that they traded back on. So Josh Connerly Jr. from Oregon, out there in Washington with the Commies, Josh Simmons, and then some of the guys that went after Aireontae Ersery, they will be compared to Ursery as well. How does Simmons max up with Ursery? Well, when healthy, almost everybody would have picked Simmons from an overall talent standpoint, but not healthy, and we don't know what type of football player he is, so you would lean Ursery right now. What does success look like for Aireontae Ersery, regardless of what happens with Simmons in 2025? I'll answer that question right after I tell you about my friends at Platinum AC and Heating. Dwayne's the best in the business. 5-star rated by the Better Business Bureau and 5-star rated by me. He walked me through all my options when it came to my air conditioning issues. He walked me through my replacement option. He walked me through my full replacement, explained to me how it was going to work, even set everything up like that. It was quick. It was easy. I had the new air conditioner put in a matter of hours, and they'd have been even faster if it wasn't raining that day. They'd have had it knocked out lightning quick. If you have any sort of air conditioning issues, Dwayne from Platinum AC and Heating is the guy to call. From repairs to a full replacement like what I got to just preventative maintenance, just taking care of your AC, making sure it's running as best it can. Dwayne at Platinum AC and Heating is the best in the business when it comes to that. Check them out here in the website description, or get the website in the description down below. You got the phone number right there on the screen. Put it in your phone, because when you need an AC guy, you need the AC guy. That's Dwayne from Platinum AC and Heating. Is the left tackle going to be Aireontae Ersery? I would tell you not right now, but what does success look like for Ursery in 2025? When you look at what the Texans did with the offensive line, where they needed improvement, and what they're doing with Ursery, to me, success for Ursery looks like being ready when called upon. They do not have to play Aireontae Ersery right away. They don't have to play him. They've got Blake Fisher to play right tackle. They've got Cam Robinson to play left tackle. They do not have to play the Houston Texans Aireontae Ersery right away. So be ready when you're called upon. Now, is he going to be called upon week 2 because Cam Robinson got dinged up? Be ready. Is he going to be called upon week 6 because Blake Fisher had disappointed to start the year at right tackle, so Ursery slides in there? Just be ready. Is he called upon in training camp to take over left tackle or right tackle because the team is disappointed with the performance of either Robinson at left tackle or Fisher at right tackle? Just be ready. Ursery and the investment in him was not totally about 2025. The hope was that it wasn't going to be about 2025, that they had 2025 solutions in Robinson and Fisher on the roster. But if they need to go to him, be ready. Blake Fisher didn't look super ready for the opportunity in 2024. He was the same type of investment. He was an investment where you needed to be ready if the team called upon him. And when he filled in for Laramie Tunsil, when Tunsil got dinged in one game, it didn't look very good at left tackle. And then it looked okay at times at right tackle, but it still didn't look like it could have or like it needs to when Ursery gets there. It's worth noting, Ursery felt very pro-ready in the draft evaluation process, whereas Blake Fisher felt like the type of player that needed a year, get some seasoning under his belt, and then maybe he'd be more ready. Now, is it going to be awful if Ursery starts at left tackle or right tackle? No, that'd be great. That'd mean that the second round investment in Ursery was a fantastic idea by Nick Caserio. Now, it might change the way we think about the financial investment in Cam Robinson or the draft pick investment in Blake Fisher, but it'd be great if Ursery ended up being the starter at one of those tackle spots. Get that tackle career started and start putting together a base that hopefully is going to be one of the key points of that offensive line for years to come. Be a standard, be a benchmark along that offensive line at either left tackle or right tackle, or maybe it's right tackle this year because Fisher's not cutting it, and then it's left tackle next year after Cam Robinson leaves. Whatever it is, be ready is what success looks like for Aireontae Ersery. And there's going to be growing pains. Look, there's going to be moments where Ursery gets beat when he plays this upcoming year. I say win because inevitably he's going to play, okay? He's going to get beat in training camp. He's going to get beat in the regular season when he's playing in the games. Guys just don't stay as healthy at the tackle spots as some other positions in football, and certainly the Texans know about tackle injuries over the years. So he's going to get beat, but just it has to look good. And you can see, again, it's OTAs, mini camps. The Texans have cautioned us very clearly about looking too much into this or that when it comes to OTAs or minicamps. You can see where Ursery is going to be a tough cookie to crack for defensive linemen. When he gets his paws on guys, they don't really go anywhere. They don't really move. Now, he's had some trouble with some speed here and there. That's to be expected. It's a whole nother level on the NFL. Even those second and third teamers, it's a whole nother level on the NFL than the Big Ten. And I know you get some really good opponents in the Big Ten, but there's also a random Saturday against Rutgers where those guys don't have big time speed or ability or agility that you have to deal with. And it's a little bit lighter work for a guy like Ursery. But success in 2025 is be ready when called upon, because he will get called upon. Maybe it's a short time at one of the tackle spots. Maybe it's taking over at one of the tackle spots. But success for him in 2025 is simply being ready. Now, Jaden Higgins, Jalen Noel, some of these other guys, they've got different standards of success in 2025. Certainly I have different standards of what would be success for them in 2025. But for Ursery, 2 words, 1 thought, be ready. Be ready when the team calls on you. What say you? Was I a little harsh on Josh Simmons? Are you still worried the Texans passed on him, or you fine with Ursery and you agree with be ready? Let me know in the comment section down below. On your way down there, hey, thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Don't forget myself, Landry Locker, weekdays, 4 p.m. The Locker Room's Landry Locker. My channel's me on the SNL channel. That's what I was trying to get at. So SNL, you got the link to that in the description down below. Also got the link and all the info you need from Platinum AC and Heating in the description down below. Check them out down there. Any AC needs that you have, Dwayne and his guys can take care of you. Appreciate you watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I can't wait till we talk Texans again soon.